So, I wanted to make a quick and kind of hopefully helpful guide for those who want to get 99 herb and are trying to get 99 herb right now, but as you know, it's pretty expensive. Most people would tell you that the price would be anywhere from like 100 to 300 mil, and for those of you who, like myself, don't have 100 or 300 mil just to spare on a skill or want to get it in a way that's cheap but still fast, well, I actually recently had to get 99 herb, and so I did it in a way that was a bit creative because, you kind of have to get creative when you don't have the money. So the first tip would be the most obvious one, and that's Warbands. You probably already heard of Warbands, but really there's no way of getting around it. If you do want herb at the pace that most people want it, which is 2 to 3 days, up to 2 weeks, then you will have to, unfortunately, do Warbands if you've been avoiding it. If you don't know what Warbands is, you can just look it online. There's lots of tutorials and videos showing you how to do it, where to go, and if you need a friends chat, there are private ones and public ones, and the private ones are obviously more exclusive and more difficult to get into, but the public ones, unfortunately, you do run the risk of having to meet PKers, so I would just say be careful, because the public ones, anyone can access them, and not everyone in there genuinely wants to help you. So, if you know the Halloween event, you would know that now there's something called an herb burner, and it's very useful for people who do want to get herb for virtually no money, because burning Harlanders is actually decent XP for a very, very little amount of money. And you can buy, I would say, a lot. Just for 300k, you could buy a lot of Harlanders, and you could just stand in front of an herb burner and burn it. And they cost about, I would say 15,000 points or something like that. But don't worry, if you don't want to do the Halloween event because you just don't have the time, or you just think the Halloween event's dumb, you can always go to World 2 Birth Orb, so you don't have to worry about, getting it. And another really helpful tip would be to create combination potions. And combination potions, unfortunately, they do have really high requirements, just because those of you who have Prif know that Prifdiness requires Plague's End, and I would say that those quests take, at least for me, 3 of those quests took an hour, and then one of those quests took me 2 hours just to do. So it is a bit of a commitment, but I would say that you get very high XP rates for a lot cheaper than what you would normally get them for if you didn't have Prif. And I do think it's worth getting in the end, because, there's just so many skills you can train at Prif, and it's just an awesome place. You really have to make 2 combination potions mainly, because the other ones, when they sell, there's no guarantee. And so I would say make the Grand Defense potions and the Super War Masters, but the Super War Masters are kind of unpredictable because you get them at Dungeoneering, and that's completely up to chance. So I would say do the Grand Defense potions. You just buy the recipe for 100k from Lady Mailer when you do get Prif, and the Grand Defense potions at first glance might seem like they are expensive, just because the ingredients to make them cost more than how much the potion actually sells for, but one lucky thing about combination potions is that the Scroll of Cleansing actually treats the 2 ingredients that it requires to make the potion as tertiary ingredients, so that the chance of you saving a super defense or a defense potion is now twice as high as it would be for saving an ingredient during Herblore making a regular potion. So it actually all evens out in the end. At least it did for me. And I always recommend that you check the numbers, just because herb components, the prices will fluctuate a lot. And but I think that for the most part, it's pretty safe to assume that the Grand Defense potions are much cheaper to make, and they will always be in demand just because I do believe it's a requirement, item requirement for the Light Within. So even if they do sell a little slowly, you know, you're always going to be able to sell them at one point or another. And as far as the Grand Defense potions go, there is a pretty strict G limit on it. I would say it's like 500 items, so you do have to supplement it with burning herbs and warbands at the same time. But doing all these things together, I normally got like 600k XP a day for playing about maybe 2 to 3 hours, or not much at all. So, hopefully this will help you with your 99 herb, if you're cheap like me, you know, and let me know if you do get it or if any of these tips helped. I also have a couple more, but I kind of don't want to share them because I don't know how time sensitive they are, just because, you know, the G changes so much, especially regarding herb prices. So, but if you do want to hear them, feel free to shoot me a PM and let me know if you get 99 herb or because of my guide.